What's up, guys? Welcome to today's tutorial where we're going to be discussing website hosting and how to get started picking out a website host for your website. So here's an example of one of my websites. This is asknickfoy.com. So this is where I teach people about blogging. So I've got a free 7-day blogging course, how to start a blog, email list growth. I've got courses, resources, tools, and tech. So it's everything an internet entrepreneur needs to get their website up and running and begin building an online business. So to create this website, I needed 3 different things. The first thing was I needed a domain name. So I chose asknickfoy.com, which looks professional. There's no extra words in there. It's just my, a professional asknickfoy.com. And then I needed website hosting so I could self-host my website, and that allows me to have my own professional domain name. So to get your website live, you need to rent out space basically on the internet. So that's where I went ahead and chose hosting through Bluehost, and now all my website files and is stored on their servers. So if anything goes, my website goes down or anything happens to it, Bluehost would be the responsible party that I would call up, get customer support. They'd see what's going on and they'd help me get my website back functioning. Luckily, it's never gone down. I've never had any issues with my website hosting. And then step 3 was the software content management system that actually allows me to build this, professional looking website. So actually designing my website. So that's where I use WordPress to create pages, create blog posts, create the menu. So WordPress is the software system that I downloaded and connected to my hosting account so that I could run my website. So those 3 pieces go together: domain name, a hosting plan, which is just renting website space to actually store your files on the internet, and then you need a content management system that allows you to create pages, blog posts, the menu, the footer, the sidebar, all the pieces of a website. So first up is Namecheap. This is where I buy my domain names. So if you go to asknickfoy.com/name and then cheap, CHEAP, it's all one word. If you type that in, it's an affiliate link that's going to tell Namecheap that I sent you. It'll redirect you to their website, and you can search your first domain name. So typically a lot of people start out using their personal name. Like in my case, I used my name, Nick Foy, and then I put the word ask because a lot of people ask questions and I provide answers. So that's where you could search different domain names. You could get different extensions on it, but .com is usually your best bet. Once you've selected your domain name, just because you have a domain name doesn't mean you have a website. Next, you need those other 2 pieces, hosting and WordPress. So a lot of people then will try to start a free website. So they'll come here, they'll type in WordPress, and there's 2 different options. You've got WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So this is 2 different things that I'm going to explain. WordPress.com is the free WordPress version. This is what most people try to start with initially, but I don't recommend it because down the road, you're going to want your own personal website, and you're going to want to move away from WordPress's hosting plan. And it's going to be a pain to try to migrate everything over. So initially, that's why I recommend starting with your own self-hosted website that's not hosted by WordPress. So you're going to have to pay about $4 a month to get hosting with Bluehost. And we're going to get into Bluehost briefly. So WordPress.com, this is where you'd create a free website, but the catch is your domain name is going to have the word WordPress.com added onto it. So my domain would have been asknickfoy.wordpress.com because WordPress would be the one hosting my website for me, allowing it to be live on the internet. And the problem with that is, one, the domain name's ugly. You don't have that nice professional domain name because now it becomes asknickfoy.wordpress.com, which is kind of adding in an unnecessary word. But mainly it's for all the features. The free version of a WordPress website is very limited. Obviously, you're going to get way more features, way more functionality by going to a self-hosted website that's on its own server and not using WordPress's free software and free server. So that's why I'd recommend WordPress.org. So in order to use WordPress.org, you have to have your own self-hosting. So that's where Bluehost comes into play. So when you purchase Bluehost, you can get started for as little as $4 a month renting website server space on the internet so that your website can be live. It also comes with a free domain name, so instead of going to Namecheap, you can actually pick out your domain name here on Bluehost when you're signing up for your hosting plan. Then they give you a free one-click install of the WordPress platform, so you get to download WordPress.org for free when you sign up for hosting through Bluehost, and then you get 24/7 support. So if you type in asknickfoy.com/Bluehost, or if you check out the links below this video, that's going to be an affiliate link that, if you click that link, it's going to help me out. It's going to support my website. It tells Bluehost that I sent you, that I referred you to them, and they're going to pay me a referral fee, which, basically, like I said, helps support my online business. So from one online entrepreneur to another, I want to thank you in advance for, using my special link to make sure I get credit. But once you do that, it's going to direct you here to Bluehost's website. You can click this big green Get Started Now button, and it's going to open up a page where you've got 3 different plans. So right now they're running a special. It may not be this way when you first come to it because they change from time to time, but currently right now they're offering their highest plan for $5.95 per month, which is the exact same as their middle plan. So if I were you, you could go ahead and start off with their highest plan since it's the exact same as their middle plan. But just know that once your term comes to an end and you have to renew your hosting plan, the price will go up. So it's going to go up, an extra $4 a month compared to the Plus plan. You can always renew later when your plan ends. You can downgrade to the lower plan when it comes to renewal. So you could start off on the highest plan possible and downgrade to the low plan. But anyhow, starting from the bottom and working our way up, first they've got the basic plan, which you can get started for less than $4 per month. They only allow you to use one website on this plan. So if you plan on having multiple websites that you're connecting to your hosting account, then you're going to want to move up to the Plus plan or the Prime plan. But if you only think you're going to use one website, you can get started for just $4 per month. You get up to 50 gigabytes of website space, which should be plenty of space for your one website. Unlimited bandwidth. Performance is standard, just like the other plans. It includes one domain, so you get to pick out one free domain when you sign up. You can also have 5 park domains, 25 subdomains. So a subdomain is basically just, if you were to start a shop page, you could say shop.asknickfoy.com or blog.asknickfoy.com. So it's just putting like a subdomain in front of your main domain, so it would be like its own separate website. So I did this with one of my brands, Under 30 Wealth. I've got under30wealth.com, and then I've got store.under30wealth.com. So I've got my main website, which is like my blog, and then a second website is my store website. So I was able to totally redesign it and create it separately from my main website, pick a new theme and everything. And then you get up to 5 email accounts, so you can create emails with your domain name. So for example, if whatever your domain name is, you could set up an email address that has that in the email address. So mine would be, nick@under30wealth.com would be my email address, or nick@asknickfoy.com. So you get up to 5 different email accounts that have your domain name as the @ that comes after the @ symbol, and then you get up to 100 megabytes of email storage. So this would be the beginner plan I would recommend most people get started with if you're just starting out, building your very first website. And later on, if you want to create another website, you can go ahead and upgrade to their next plan at a later time. So initially, to get the lowest rate possible, you have to subscribe for at least like a 3-year period. So you're going to be paying $4 a month times 12 months, so about $48 a year, and then you're going to pay for 3 years ahead of time. So it's going to run you, close to $140, $150 to buy your 3 years of web hosting, and that's going to have you covered for the next 3 years. So you don't have to worry about renewing your hosting for 3 years. You pay that $150 up front, and then you get your free domain name. So now all you got to worry about every year is paying, if you've got an email service provider or other softwares that you're using to run your business. But it's kind of nice that you can get started running a website for less than $50 per year. And you can eventually, if you're going to run it as an online business, that's your biggest cost, $50 a year to run your website, and then your website starts making you money and your break even point is real low. So you just have to make your first $50 to cover your cost of hosting for the year. All right, their next plan is the Plus plan. This is the one I've got. So I've got multiple websites, so that's why I chose this plan. Otherwise, the rest of these features don't really matter. You don't have to worry, about website space or bandwidth. And it goes ahead and gives you unlimited subdomains, but odds are you're not going to use more than 25 anyways. So the only real reason for upgrading to this plan is if you plan on having more than one website. So now I've connected like 5 to 10 different domain names to this hosting account that I've got. And then there became a time where one of my store websites had to get an SSL certificate to allow it to have a secure checkout page where people could enter their credit card information. So I had to go ahead and upgrade to the Go Pro plan, and it's about $14 a month, and it gave me a dedicated IP address, an SSL certificate, domain privacy, and site backup pro. So these additional features I had to get in order to run, a secure store page where people could check out without worrying about their credit card details. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. When I was starting out on this plan, and when you start out, on the lower $395 plan, I recommend getting as much hosting as you can at this time right now. So go ahead and maximize and get the 3 years, because if you only get 1 year, it's going to give you 1 year at $395, and then in year 2, when you come up for renewal, it's going to jump you up to this $799 rate. So I found that out because I only did 2 years when I first started out on the Plus plan. So I was paying, $6 a month for the first 2 years, and then when I had to renew this past fall about a year ago, it jumped me up to the $11 a month plan. So now my next 3 years, I was going to be paying $11 a month. And then when I upgraded to the Go Pro plan, it was only $14 a month. So that added an extra $3 a month over the remaining time period that I have left on my hosting plan. So I had to come out of pocket again. So that's why I recommend, buying as much hosting as you can at the cheapest rate possible when you first sign up. Because once you hit that first renewal cycle, it's going to jump you up to that normal rate. They just give you the initial discount when you're first signing up for the first time. So make sure you keep that in mind. Buy 3 years of hosting if possible. If you plan on, having a website for a long time, then go ahead and buy those 3 years ahead of time. That way you don't have to worry about paying $8 a month for 3 years. And then once it comes up for renewal, then you'll have to start paying $8 a month. But that's not going to make too big a dent, because in 3 years from now, hopefully your website's making you money, so you won't mind paying a few extra dollars per month. All right, so those are the different plans on Bluehost. Like I said, once you create or select your hosting plan, they're going to have you create an account. So you're going to fill out all your information. You're going to fill out your billing, your credit card information, and then you're going to get to pick your free domain name. So once you pick that free domain name, then the next step is going to be logging into your Bluehost account once your account's all set up, and you're going to find the WordPress.org install button on Bluehost. So from there, you're going to be able to download WordPress and begin building your website. So that pretty much concludes today's video, talking about the different pieces that you need to start a website and talking about hosting. I would highly recommend using Bluehost and running a self-hosted website rather than using a free website like WordPress.com where you're hosting your website on WordPress, because then you're going to have, that ugly domain name. Your website's going to be real limited. You don't get access to plugins, which plugins make, your website way more functionable. It's basically these little software codes that get added onto your website to allow you to do different cool things. So there's a lot of features you'll get if you use WordPress.org, but in order to do WordPress.org, you have to, go through a hosting company. So for a few dollars per month, you can have a self-hosted website where you're not sharing, hosting space on another platform like WordPress. Instead, you've got your own self-hosted website. You're only paying a couple bucks a month. You're going to get all kinds of benefits and features by having a self-hosted website that you won't get on the free version. So again, to check out Bluehost and learn more about them, go to asknickfoy.com/Bluehost or check the links below in the description of this video. And then if you decide, you buy the Plus plan and you want to create more websites, you pick out your free domain that comes with your hosting. Then later you would go to Namecheap, so asknickfoy.com/Namecheap, and you can buy more domains and then connect them to your Bluehost account and install WordPress for those domain names as well. So if you look around my YouTube channel, I've got some older videos that I've also created showing you step by step, how to actually buy hosting on Bluehost. I show you how to buy domain names on Namecheap. I show you how to connect your domain name with Bluehost. So if you buy them on Namecheap, I show you how to change the servers so they point to Bluehost. And then I also have videos showing you how to install WordPress from your Bluehost dashboard. So if you want to check those videos out, they're going to go a step further, than today's video where we just talked about the different pieces of a website. And then I've also got 1-hour tutorial videos that show you how to create a website in 1 hour. So I'll link to those below in the description, and you can make sure to click those links. Spend an hour, just watching the step-by-step tutorial. It's going to walk you through everything: buying a domain name, buying hosting, installing WordPress, and then I go through all the features of WordPress, including what plugins you should download and install onto your WordPress website to make it highly functional and professional. So thanks for watching today's video. Hit that thumbs up button if this was helpful, and be sure to subscribe for daily uploads. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with tomorrow's upload.